One pristine early morning, as the sun had just cast its first golden shimmering rays through the bamboo groves at the edge of the village, awakening all creatures' little monkey. Lily had already begun a new day, with her dad filled with responsibilities that were by no means small, but perhaps to Lily, they were part of a fascinating game. Their first destination was a serene lotus pond nestled peacefully behind a lush green bamboo hedge at the village outskirts. The pond's surface was as smooth and calm as a giant mirror, perfectly reflecting the vast clear sky and the soft, fluffy white clouds drifting lazily by. Here, a flock of snow-white ducks, with their sleek feathers and bright yellow beaks, were leisurely swimming about their cheerful quack-quack, echoing gently, disturbing the tranquility of a corner of the pond. Lily's task today, under Dad's guidance and encouragement, was to assist in herding the flock of ducks into a specific area of the pond, perhaps a spot richer in food, or a place where they could easily waddle ashore. With the innate agility of her primate kind and a surprising air of confidence emanating from her small frame, Lily nimbly scampered along the soft earthen bank of the pond. After the morning's agricultural work, a task that required both dexterity and a touch of a commander's authority, Lily followed Dad into their cozy little kitchen, where a new challenge, a new lesson in the world of gastronomy awaited her. Today, their menu included a dish involving coconut, and Dad decided to let Lily participate in the preparation process as a way for her to learn and explore. Dad brought out a large round Siamese coconut, its outer husk still a fresh, vibrant green, heavy in his hands, promising a bounty of sweet, refreshing water and rich, creamy flesh within. The first stage, and also the one requiring the most strength and skill, was opening the coconut. Dad used a large, sharp, machete-like knife, carefully placing the coconut on a thick wooden chopping block. With each decisive chop from Dad, the tough, fibrous green outer husk was gradually removed, revealing the hard, dark, brown inner shell. Lily sat neatly on a small stool beside him, her round eyes never leaving Dad's every move, appearing immensely curious and somewhat in awe of her father's strength and skill. Each time a piece of husk fell to the floor, Lily would quickly pick it up, bringing it to her cute little nose to inhale the characteristic, slightly tangy aroma of young coconut fiber. She also proved to be very cooperative when Dad asked her to gently hold the coconut steady, or simply by sitting quietly and not being mischievous, allowing Dad to concentrate on this task, which demanded high precision. When the hard inner shell was finally cracked open with a well-aimed blow, a stream of clear, pure coconut water, as translucent as morning dew, began to flow out, carrying with it a fresh, sweet, and invigorating aroma that permeated the entire kitchen. Dad quickly caught the precious liquid in a large jug. Afterwards, he poured a small amount of the coconut water into a tiny, pretty cup, reserved especially for Lily, inviting her to taste it first. The natural, pure sweetness and cool refreshment of the coconut water seemed to delight Lily immensely. She took the cup with both hands, drank nearly all of it in one go, her eyes closing in pure enjoyment. Next came the equally interesting stage, grating the coconut flesh. Dad used a special traditional grater with small, sharp, serrated blades to slowly scrape out the soft, white, and creamy flesh still clinging to the inside of the shell. Fine, glistening shreds of white coconut fell onto a clean plate. Lily wanted to try her hand at this too. Dad understood her wish, giving her a small piece of the coconut shell with some flesh still attached and a small spoon. Lily fumbled for a while, using the spoon to try and scrape and pry, and eventually she managed to gather a few tiny white coconut shreds. Though her harvest was insignificant, the look of pride and accomplishment on Lily's face as she showed Dad the coconut shreds she had made herself was truly adorable. Dad gently stroked her head, praising his daughter's dexterity, and those few shreds of coconut would perhaps be the most delicious part of the upcoming dish.
Chặt ra đi thử nha. Chặt mới biết được. Thấy chưa? Lily có vẻ như không thích dừa các bạn ạ. Thấy dừa cái gì vậy? Ăn thì nhảy nhảy xấu quá. Các bạn cho Lily xem nhá. Ngốc quá. Dừa nó ngon lên ạ. Nè, tí nè. Nhìn nè. Thấy không? Còn thấy chưa? Rồi ngon nhé. Có thử tí không? Có thế rồi. Dê kìa, dê được ăn kìa. Mình cắt cỏ lên dê ăn đi. Đi. Bỏ đây nhá, mình cắt cỏ lên dê đi. Đi nha. Chậm thôi, chậm thôi. Ô, dê dê hết thì ăn nè, hết đồ ăn rồi. Ha. Mình cắt cỏ lên dê nhá.
Before she could even take a proper rest, after her exciting kitchen discoveries, Lily's diligence and enthusiastic work spirit were called upon again as she joined Dad in a meaningful task, gathering grass for a goat on their small family farm. Perhaps in Dad's household, besides the white ducks or familiar dogs and cats, there were also other lovable four-legged friends, and this mountain goat with its long beard and gentle eyes was one of them. Lily toddled energetically after Dad to a lush green meadow behind their house, where clumps of young, nutritious grass, still glistening with morning dew, were vigorously reaching for the warm sunlight. She watched with fascination as Dad skillfully used a sharp sickle, making swift, clean cuts to harvest bunches of fresh, dewy grass. Then Lily, too, wanted to imitate him. She bent down, using her small, delicate white hands to try and pull or pluck the softest, greenest blades of grass. Although her strength was limited, and each time she only managed to gather a few fragile blades, sometimes with a bit of soil still clinging to the roots, Lily's enthusiasm and sincere desire to help Dad were truly precious and deeply appreciated. She carefully gathered the blades of grass she had harvested into tiny little bundles, then toddled over perhaps a little unsteadily with her load to where Dad was standing. Dad accepted these special bundles of grass from Lily, stroked her head, praising her good work, and then together, father and daughter brought the fresh, delicious, and sentiment-filled grass to the goat, which was waiting patiently in its simple wooden enclosure. The goat, upon seeing Lily and the offering of young grass, bleated happily, then eagerly began to munch on it. Lily stood watching the goat eat, her eyes shining with delight, seeing her efforts bring joy to another friend.
Ngon nhỉ? Đấy, thấy không? Công của Ly hết đấy. Ly ăn gì để ba nấu cho Ly ăn nhá. Để làm trái cây cho Ly ăn nhá. Để ba làm trái cây cho Ly ăn nhá. Ha. Cái tay này.
Returning to the cozy warmth of the kitchen after their outdoor activities, Lily once again resumed her role as a promising little sous chef. This time, her task was to help Dad prepare and then enjoy a lavish fruit platter, a wonderful dessert after their hard work. A variety of fresh, delicious tropical fruits, specialties of the Vietnamese countryside, with all their vibrant colors and enticing flavors, such as golden yellow cat chew mangoes, their skins smooth and taut, exuding a sweet, intoxicating aroma. Bunches of cow bananas perfectly ripe with tiny brown speckles, their fragrance inviting. A few bright red rambutans with their quirky green tendrils encasing translucent, juicy white flesh. And perhaps even the creamy, crunchy young coconut flesh that father and daughter had prepared earlier that morning. All were carefully arranged by Dad on a rustic woven bamboo tray. Lily, with her inherent dexterity and eagerness, was very enthusiastic about helping Dad with the small tasks. She could independently peel the soft skin of the ripe bananas, or use her nimble little fingers to try and pry open the tough skins of the rambutans. Sometimes she would simply sit quietly beside him, her round eyes wide with anticipation, waiting to taste each type of fruit once Dad had finished preparing it. Dad carefully peeled the thin skin of the mangoes with a knife. In the afternoon, when the golden summer sun was less intense, its rays gentler, Lily had a very surprising and unique activity, an experience that perhaps not every monkey gets to have. She went street performing with Dad. She was perhaps equipped by Dad with a charming little prop to add to her appeal, like a cute hat adorned with a flower or a tiny toy drum slung across her chest. Together, they went to a small street corner, shaded by the canopy of ancient trees, a spot frequented by many passers-by. Lily, with her innate boldness and astonishing intelligence, performed adorable gestures and amusing acts that Dad had patiently taught her beforehand. Perhaps it involved a few simple dance moves to a cheerful tune Dad played from a small speaker, or some comical facial expressions, sometimes winking, sometimes sticking out her little pink tongue playfully. The appearance of a small, pretty monkey who could perform so naturally and charmingly quickly attracted the attention and delighted smiles of everyone around, from small children to elderly folks. Many people didn't hesitate to stop and watch and generously supported this special little artist with small coins and notes as a token of their appreciation and encouragement. And what was even more surprising, a detail that showcased Dad's careful upbringing and Lily's amazing ability to learn, was that after this impromptu and successful performance, the small change that people had lovingly given was carefully picked up by Lily with her tiny hands. Then, under Dad's guidance, she personally put each coin one by one into a cute, whimsically shaped piggy bank. The image of a little monkey who knew how to earn money through her own talent and charm, and more importantly, also knew the value of money and practiced saving.
You are a VIP
truly
member.
made
It is my honor.
everyone marvel and applaud. Dad looked at Lily, his heart swelling with an indescribable pride, not just for his daughter's intelligence, but also for the lessons about the value of labor and life that he was gradually imparting to Lily in such a special and unique way. After a long day, filled with numerous activities and work that was at times quite tiring, from participating in farm chores and assisting with kitchen duties to even artistic labor on the streets, Lily truly deserved to enjoy moments of absolute relaxation to rejuvenate her energy. She was taken by Dad to a place that was perhaps a small pet spa. Or more simply, Dad himself administered this wonderful relaxation therapy for his beloved little daughter right at home. The gentle, rhythmic, massaging motions of Dad's warm and loving hands slowly glided over Lily's small body. Dad started from her head, gently pressing and kneading the acupressure points, then moved down to her shoulders and neck, massaging away any tension that might have accumulated in her muscles after a day of activity. Next, along her small back, Dad's fingers danced as if playing a soft melody, bringing a spreading sensation of comfort. Then even her legs and arms, every joint, every muscle group, was carefully attended to by Dad. Perhaps Dad even used a little natural herbal essential oil with a subtle, pleasant fragrance to enhance the relaxing effect. And to conclude a truly perfect and memorable day, Lily was even treated by Dad to dinner at a restaurant. It wasn't clear whether it was a luxurious restaurant, with sparkling crystal chandeliers, plush velvet-covered chairs, and soft melodious music, or just a cozy family-run eatery with familiar local dishes.
Lots of fruit.
But regardless the fact that Lily was out dining with Dad, experiencing a change of scenery and exploring new flavors was an incredibly special and exciting experience for her. Lily was probably served delicious dishes, carefully chosen by Dad, exquisitely prepared, ensuring they were nutritious and suited to a little monkey's palate. Perhaps it was a portion of soft, fluffy rice served with a little finely shredded chicken, or a plate of fresh steamed vegetables, or even a special kind of porridge. She sat obediently on a high chair designed for children that the restaurant provided her, round eyes curiously observing the surroundings, other diners engaged in cheerful conversation, busy waiters and waitresses bustling about, and all the attractive, colorful dishes being served at other tables. Perhaps through such outings into the world with Dad, Lily was also gradually learning how to behave politely, maintain order, and integrate better when in public places. The dinner proceeded in a joyful, intimate, and warm atmosphere, serving as a wonderful end to a day filled with extraordinary events and happy moments for little monkey Lily beside her wonderful Dad. A day for Lily was truly busy. Lily, with an expression of utmost concentration and seriousness, held a colored pencil, her head tilted slightly diligently, scribbling what appeared to be intricate, albeit a bit chaotic lines on a pristine white sheet of paper. Her big, round, dark eyes never left her masterpiece, and her small pink tongue would occasionally peek out to lightly lick her lips, an adorable habit common when she was deeply engrossed in something. Perhaps Lily was trying to replicate an image she had seen, or simply exploring the joy of creating colorful marks on paper, an imitation of Dad's activities that she deeply admired. Seeing his little daughter's focused and adorable demeanor, Dad couldn't help but smile fondly. He gently approached, careful not to disturb Lily's creative flow, and quietly sat down beside her. Dad opened his laptop, started a program, then turned the screen towards Lily, his voice soft and inviting. Lily, dear, look what Dad has here. It's very interesting. On the screen, perhaps was a cheerful animated cartoon with amusing characters or vibrant images of the natural world, or even a simple interactive game. Whatever the content, it immediately captured Lily's full attention. Her eyes lit up brightly, and she stared transfixed at the screen, her tiny fingers sometimes reaching out to gently touch the screen, as if wanting to interact with what was happening. Dad patiently explained, pointing things out, and Lily seemed to understand some of it, occasionally looking up at Dad, and then back at the screen, her mouth forming little oohs and ahs, as if wanting to ask more. The moment of father and daughter sharing new discoveries through the computer was simple, yet profoundly warm. After a while of exploring the world through the technological window, Dad and Lily decided to embark on a wonderfully creative and colorful handicraft project, making a special Christmas tree entirely out of fresh, delicious fruits. Even though Christmas was not around the corner, and the summer weather in Vietnam was quite warm, the joy of creation and the desire to bring a bit of early festive cheer into their home didn't need to wait for a specific occasion. Dad thought this would also be a fantastic way for Lily to become familiar with different types of fruits, their colors and shapes in the most enjoyable manner. Dad brought out a large white porcelain plate, and then together with Lily, began to arrange the raw materials he had prepared. First, Dad chose a perfectly ripe crimson Fuji apple, its skin glossy and taut, and placed it in the center of the plate to serve as a sturdy base for their tree. Next, a long, slender carrot, vibrant orange in color, which Dad had already peeled cleanly, was carefully and firmly inserted upright into the apple, forming the tall trunk of the tree. Lily toddled back and forth in the kitchen, sometimes bringing Dad a lush green broccoli floret, still fresh and crisp to be used as foliage. At other times, curiously picking up bright red heart-shaped strawberries from Dalat, or bunches of seedless deep purple grapes, and even slices of jade green kiwi that Dad had pre-cut, all ready to become ornaments for their fruit tree. Father and daughter meticulously and carefully attached each type of fruit onto the carrot trunk. The broccoli florets were skillfully inserted by Dad using small bamboo skewers, creating lush green layers of leaves, making it look like a miniature pine tree. Then came the decoration stage with colorful baubles and twinkling lights made from the various fruits. Juicy red strawberries were interspersed with clusters of deep purple grapes. Round slices of fresh green kiwi were dotted here and there, and perhaps even some slices of golden orange glistening like tiny lamps. Lily was visibly thrilled and immensely enthusiastic. Her tiny hands, though still a bit clumsy, also tried to help Dad attach the smaller fruits onto the branches. Sometimes a grape would slip from Lily's grasp and fall onto the table. She would quickly pick it up, blow on it gently, then hand it back to Dad, giggling. Her clear laughter and unconcealed excitement filled the kitchen with an even more joyful and lively atmosphere. Finally, to complete their unique and one-of-a-kind fruit Christmas tree, Dad used a star fruit cut horizontally to create a perfect golden yellow 5-pointed star and carefully placed it on the very top of the tree. And so, a Christmas tree, radiant with the vibrant colors of fruit, a masterpiece of creativity. Love and collaboration between father and daughter was successfully completed. Lily clapped her hands and squealed with delight, running around the plate to admire their creation from every angle.
Đi ăn tuyết à? Đi ăn đi, đúng rồi, lấy ăn đi nè. Đúng rồi. Đấy. Nè. Nè. Nè Ly, đấy. Đấy, đúng rồi. Nè, có đi đi. Được rồi Ly nhỉ, sạch rồi đúng không? Tôi cắt khăn ra đây đi. Cắt khăn vào đây. Lấy cái này này. Đây cho bạn nào. Đây. Đây cắt khăn nào. Đây đây. Rồi, vào đây vào. Cắt vào cây nhé. Giỏi, cảm ơn. Rồi, lấy vai Ly. Rồi, cảm ơn Ly. Đúng rồi, sắp xong Ly ơi. Đúng rồi, sắp xong mình đi làm bánh nhé. Cảm ơn Ly nhé, rồi đi đây đi, qua đây đi. Ok, bây giờ mình đi làm bánh đi nhé. Đi làm bánh nào. Đi lên.
Not stopping at creative activities meant for amusement and aesthetics, Dad and Lily also embarked on preparing a very meaningful, traditional Vietnamese dish, a culinary beauty often associated with Tet Lunar New Year Ban Chung. Although it wasn't tea, the act of together wrapping these square, green, glutinous rice cakes always brought a special warm and sacred feeling to any Vietnamese household. Dad wanted through this activity for Lily to experience a taste of tradition, family bonding, and the meaning of labor. Dad had already prepared all the necessary ingredients beforehand, each chosen with care. Nep Kai Hoa Vang, sticky rice, each grain plump, pearly white, and known for its distinctive fragrance and chewiness, had been thoroughly washed and soaked overnight to soften. Mung beans hulled and cleaned were cooked until tender and then mashed into a smooth golden yellow paste like summer sunshine. Fresh pork belly with a good balance of lean meat and fat was cut into generous pieces and marinated in a savory blend of shallots, black pepper, and a touch of fish sauce. And indispensable to the cake were the large, broad, unblemished green dong leaves, Phrynium placentarium, washed clean and wiped dry. Dad began to patiently guide Lily through the stages of wrapping the ban chung. First was arranging the dong leaves in the square wooden mold, a family heirloom stained with the passage of time. Lily curiously watched Dad expertly fold each leaf, creating a perfect liner for the cake. Then she also tried to imitate him, picking up a leaf, fumbling a bit as she tried to fold it. Though the leaves in Lily's hands were a little crumpled, her effort and joyful willingness to learn warmed Dad's heart. Next, Dad spread a thick layer of sticky rice onto the bottom of the leaf-lined mold, patting it down evenly. Then came a layer of smooth mung bean paste, which Dad gently spread flat with a spoon. Lily was also given a chance to try scooping the rice and beans into the mold. Her tiny hands carefully ladled small amounts, some of it inevitably spilling. But the delight of participating in this traditional task shone brightly on her cheerful face. Dad placed the well-marinated pork belly pieces in the center, then added another layer of mung bean paste, and finally, a top layer of sticky rice to cover everything. After all the fillings were in place, Dad gently pressed down to compact the ingredients, then skillfully folded the leaf edges over, encasing the filling completely. Lastly, he used soft, pliable bamboo strings, lat jiang, which had been soaked in water for flexibility, to tie the cake securely into a neat square package. One by one, the lush, green, plump bancheng, heavy with family sentiment, were completed through the joyful and meaningful collaboration of father and daughter. Lily proudly pointed at the finished cakes as if to say, "I helped make those," while the bancheng were carefully arranged by Dad in a large pot covered with water and placed over a crackling wood fire to boil, a process requiring many hours of patient simmering, filling the air with the rich characteristic aroma of sticky rice and dong leaves. Lily found another way to entertain herself while waiting. She sat obediently on her little stool in front of the television, watching her favorite children's programs that Dad had selected for her. Perhaps they were cheerful songs with catchy tunes or colorful fairy tales with clear distinctions between good and evil, completely captivating Lily's attention and imagination. She was entirely engrossed in the world, on the screen occasionally giggling at humorous scenes. And then, the most anticipated moment for both father and daughter finally arrived. After many long hours of careful boiling over a steady fire, the bancheng were perfectly cooked, soft and tender, their aroma now even more intense and alluring, permeating every corner of the house, awakening even the most discerning of appetites. Dad carefully lifted each cake out of the pot, the steam rising in fragrant clouds. The cakes were rinsed under cold water to remove any leaf residue, then left to drain. The atmosphere in the house was filled with the distinctive smell of tet, even though it was just an ordinary summer day. Dad chose one of the cakes that was still warm, perfectly square, and looked most appealing. He didn't use a knife. Instead, following tradition, he used the very bamboo strings that had bound the cake to skillfully cut it into neat, triangular wedges. The glutinous rice, now a beautiful translucent jade green from the dong leaves, was incredibly fragrant and chewy, enveloping the rich, savory filling of golden mung bean paste and tender, well-seasoned pork belly. It was an unforgettable taste, a quintessence of Vietnamese cuisine. Dad and Lily sat down together at the table, slowly savoring the fruits of their labor. Dad gave Lily a small piece. She carefully took it, brought it to her mouth, and took a bite. The delicious taste of traditional bancheng, with its harmonious blend of ingredients, seemed to greatly please her palate. Lily ate with relish, her cheeks puffed out, her eyes shining with delight. Dad watched Lily eat, his heart filled with happiness. This was more than just a meal. It was sharing. It was the taste of family affection, of tradition preserved and passed on. A day for Lily and Dad, thus passed filled with creative activities, from making a unique fruit Christmas tree to jointly wrapping and enjoying the traditional bancheng. Every moment held joy, learning, connection, and warm affection, a testament to a life that, though simple, was always overflowing with wonderful things and endless discoveries for the two of them in their loving little home.
Thấy chưa? Chưa được con, từ đã. Cát này, cát này. Rồi. Tí nhé. Rồi, ngoan nào, ngoan nào.
Then, as if an innate instinct awakened by the call of wild nature, Lily headed towards a tree, not too tall, but with many lush branches and leaves its canopy spreading wide, offering cool shade over a patch of ground nearby. With the agility and deftness inherent to her primate kind, a skill passed down through generations, the little monkey nimbly climbed the tree. Her small but incredibly strong hands gripped firmly onto each rough branch, her feet also coordinating rhythmically and gracefully, helping her ascend with ease. From the treetop, Lily could cast her gaze far into the distance, taking in the expansive view of the vast meadow, feeling the cool breeze rustle through the young green leaves, bringing with it the taste of freedom and open space. And Lily's goal in conquering this tree was not merely to admire the scenery or challenge herself, but also to find ripe, juicy wild berries, red as tiny rubies, a favorite natural snack generously provided by nature. After satisfying her craving and her little tummy feeling a bit full, Lily again gently and gracefully climbed down from the tree, continuing her surprising journey of exploration. She didn't forget to carry a few of the ripest, most enticing berries in her hand, playing with them as she walked, occasionally bringing one to her mouth to nibble on, with relish, her dark eyes shining with simple joy and contentment. She tossed the small berries in her hand, then carefully held them again, her nimble feet treading lightly on the grass. After a delightful time playing outside, running, jumping, climbing, and exploring all sorts of things, perhaps Lily was also getting a bit tired and starting to miss home, missing Dad's familiar warmth. She decided to return to her small but love-filled nest. The first thing she did upon entering the house, a good habit Dad had instilled in her, was to conscientiously take off the small backpack from her back, then carefully place it into a plastic storage basket that was usually kept in the corner of the room. This action showed Lily's commendable neatness and awareness. Next, Lily didn't run off to play immediately, but headed straight for the bathroom where she could perform her personal hygiene rituals by herself. She conscientiously took off her outdoor adventure clothes, as they were probably a bit soiled with dust and sweat after her energetic exploration. Lily carefully placed each item, the yellow shirt, the black pants, into a plastic basin used for dirty laundry, preparing them for washing later. Not stopping there, Lily even used her nimble little hands to skillfully remove the disposable diaper she was wearing, a gesture showing that she was growing up, becoming aware of personal hygiene, and wanting to be more comfortable. After being completely free from her somewhat cumbersome and no longer clean attire, Lily, with her soft gray fur, joyfully ran out to the living room to find Dad. Dad was relaxing on the large bed at that moment, perhaps reading a book or watching a program on television. Seeing Dad, joy lit up Lily's eyes, and she happily leaped onto the bed, initiating their familiar and affectionate, playful interactions. She rolled back and forth on the mattress, gently nuzzling Dad with her little head, then snuggled into his arms, seeking warmth and protection. Lily's clear, tinkling giggles and Dad's deep, gentle laughter echoed through the room, making the atmosphere even more lively, cheerful, and filled with boundless love. Dad affectionately hugged Lily, stroking her soft fur, then gently picked her up. Perhaps it was time for Lily's bath after an active morning outdoors. Dad carried Lily back to the bathroom. First, he turned on the warm water faucet, carefully adjusting the temperature to be just right, not too hot and not too cold. Then gently rinsed Lily's body, washing away any remaining dust and sweat from her fur. Afterwards, he placed her into a pretty sky blue plastic bathtub that had been prepared with plenty of white, fragrant soap bubbles, smelling faintly of a mild baby shampoo, guaranteed not to sting her eyes. Lily seemed to thoroughly enjoy being immersed in the warm water and surrounded by the soft, airy soap bubbles. She playfully used her hands to scoop up handfuls of bubbles, tossing them into the air, then watched with delight as they slowly dissolved, leaving glistening water droplets on the sides of the tub. Dad gently washed Lily all over from her little head with its soft tufts of fur down her pretty face, then her body arms and legs. He also didn't forget to shampoo her hair with a special gentle formula, cleaning her soft fur and making it even shinier.
Rồi đi. Ok rồi đấy. Thế nào? Nào, thế nào? Ui trời. Nào, đi cho thử thế nào.
After the bath and shampoo, Lily was rinsed again by Dad with clear fresh water to ensure no soap residue was left on her sensitive skin. Then, Dad lifted Lily out of the bathtub, quickly wrapping her in a large, thick and fluffy cotton towel that was incredibly soft and absorbent. Dad carefully dried Lily's body from head to toe, not missing a single spot, especially tender areas prone to dampness, like behind her ears and between her fingers and toes.
Được rồi đi ơi. Rồi, tắm rồi được rồi. Nè, rồi đây ha. Tới muốn tắm nữa hả? Trời. Dưới này ha. Biết bơi luôn hả? Bơi luôn hả? Ừ. Hả? Cái gì giỏi thế? Ừ, giỏi thế. Ui. Giỏi thế. Thôi vậy thôi nhá, được chưa? Tắm vậy thôi bạn nhé. Tắm lâu ôm đất nhé. Rồi, đúng rồi, cho xuống nào. Rồi, yên đây ha. Tắm không? Đúng rồi, tắm vào để cho sạch nha. Tắm không? Tắm không? Thôi, được rồi nhá. Thôi, được rồi ha. Đâu xem nào. Rồi, đứng lên xem nào. Đứng lên xem nào. Đâu, chà. Rồi. Đứng đây này.
Afterwards, to ensure Lily wouldn't catch a cold and that her fur was completely dry, Dad used a hairdryer set on a low heat and gentle airflow mode to slowly dry her fur. The steady, whirring sound of the hairdryer seemed to make Lily feel comfortable and sleepy.
Đây. Cái nằm đây. Nằm xuống.
Enjoying the attentive care, the next step was a fresh diaper and a new outfit. This time, Lily was dressed by Dad in a clean, well-fitting disposable diaper. And surprisingly, instead of her usual clothes, Dad lovingly dressed Lily in a very cute and charming plaid dress, predominantly pink and white, with lovely little frills at the hem. Even though she was a little monkey, Lily seemed to look quite fetching in the diverse and rather feminine outfits Dad prepared as long as they provided comfort and an adorable appearance.
Chờ bà tí nhé. Đây.
After being cleaned, smelling fresh and looking very dainty in her new outfit, like a little lady, Lily was rewarded by Dad with a carton of cool fruit juice. She happily took the juice box with both hands, then toddled over to her familiar little table, where she often sat to study or play with her toys. Lily obediently sat down on her small chair, which was just the right height for her, inserted the straw into the juice carton, and slowly began to enjoy each sip. The cool, sweet, and fragrant taste of the fruit juice after a refreshing bath in a brand new outfit was truly a wonderful and delightful sensation for Lily.
Thương quá ha. Tía bà nấu cái gì cho ăn nhé. Nha. Không. Ngon quá ha. Nào, khui lại Lily.
While Lily was savoring her juice, Dad brought in a large, intriguing cardboard box, which looked quite heavy and mysterious. It seemed like it might be a surprise gift that Dad had prepared, or a new toy he had just ordered. Lily was visibly very excited and curious about the appearance of this strange box. She immediately ran over, jumped right on top of the box, and then used both her hands and feet to help Dad open it. Lily's eyes lit up with pure joy and astonishment when she saw what was hidden inside a very beautiful, remote-controlled pink toy car with a modern design complete with headlights, taillights, and even a horn. Happiness was clearly written all over Lily's small, intelligent face. Dad and Lily carefully took the car out of the box, then began the process of assembling the remaining accessories, such as the 4 sturdy wheels, 2 cute little side mirrors, and applying colorful decorative stickers to the car body. Although these were simple tasks for Dad Lily's enthusiastic cooperation and help, even if it sometimes just meant holding a screw for him or curiously touching the car parts, made the work truly joyful, meaningful, and filled with laughter. When the car was fully assembled, shiny and ready to roll, Lily couldn't wait another second. She eagerly climbed in and tried sitting in the driver's seat. The car was perfectly designed to fit Lily. She was visibly overjoyed and thrilled, her tiny hands gripping the steering wheel, which was shaped just like a real one. Her small feet tapping lightly on the car floor, perhaps imagining herself as a skilled racer, driving this brand new stylish car to conquer exciting, adventurous roads in her own imaginary world. A radiant, ceaseless smile on Lily's lips was a beautiful end to a long day, filled with so many activities, new experiences, and delightful surprises that Dad had lovingly prepared for her.